within minutes of him getting that phone call from my aunt, he found my yard. Of course, he brought with him a big guava stick. Who knows a guava stick knows it is not some little flimsy stick. It is literally like a whole tree branch that my dad brought with him. It was literally like a whole tree branch. It was big. It was a big, massive stick. This was now the start of the physical abuse. Yes, this was the start of the physical abuse. Of course, on top of the fact that I was being sexually molested, I was being bullied. So all of that come together now. I had an addition, which was the physical abuse. So even though me and my dad were very, very much good, we're in good relationship, but at that time, I remember resenting my dad because the beating, the licks that I would get was not it wasn't little spankings. It was massive, massive beatings that I tell you. So back then to the physical abuse with my dad, he came with the guava stick, and then I remember the entire neighborhood came down because of course who lived in the neighborhood knew who our dad was. So it wasn't a secret. So of course every time when he'd come, my dad come with his entourage behind him and his truckload or van load of people with him all the time. So that within itself was like some excitement. So anyways, he would come, and he came, and it was literally entertainment for the entire neighborhood because they crowded up outside. When I was getting beaten, they crowded outside, and the talk started coming in, people speculating, oh, probably she done this, probably she done that, like what happened. So there was lots of talks because you know how it goes already in Jamaica. When somebody's getting scoldings, there are gonna be lots of talks, even things that doesn't goes out to how they're saying it, they will say, right? Yes. So I became literally the talk of the town now, because now, I'm getting scolding from the public figure. All of that talks was just out there. And it was just as if, it was just an addition, and as if I wasn't already faced with sexual molestation, bullying, and all of that already in the community, because I was always getting bullied at school and I was getting bullied in the community. So this was just like an icing on the cake, literally. Everyone started judging, they started formulating their own judgments, saying all of this, all of that, not knowing what happened. It's literally like a movie to them. It was like their own entertainment, because she's getting beaten, You know how that is excitement for community anyways, especially in Jamaica. So then after, I kid you not, I think I got beating and scolding about every 2 weeks after that. So that was the first time now I'm getting physically abused. And then literally from that, I think it was every 2 weeks that my dad had to come to give me beating with different objects. And I'm not talking about no small objects. He always finds the big, excruciating objects. And I laugh now because again, it's my past. And it was no spanking. I got licks, I got beaten, battered. That's it. Just to put it out there, yes. And it's like, it's to me, it seems as if now the devil was just after me. He literally realized that he couldn't catch me one way, because remember the whole witchcraft situation. He couldn't catch me in that aspect because God had delivered me. So he said, I can't catch you one way, I'm going to catch you the next. I think the enemy wanted my dad to literally kill me, right? But God held me. God held me even through it all. And of course, I know one would say, oh, but you were the one who was putting yourself in the situation. Yes. And again, like, I hold responsibility for my actions. But at the same time, things was just happening. Again, it was just so much, right? It was so much. Now I remember the same man now right? So the same man who got me in the situation in the first place, because he was not getting through to me, because now remember, my phone would have now been confiscated and I no longer have a phone, so he wasn't getting through to me like he used to. So he took it upon himself to come to the community in search of me, and he came to the yard. And what he done, he came to the yard, pretend as if he was coming to see the nanny, or I don't remember what he was doing, but he didn't make it seem as if he was coming to see me per se. He was making it seem because he doesn't want it to be obvious, right? But I knew, and I knew it was me who he came to see. And I remember, one of them ones where you're talking underneath your voice, but you're talking really loud, but you're doing it in a disguised way so that nobody else sees. I remember going like, "What are you doing here? Leave!" Like, that's what I was saying. Like, I was saying, "What are you doing here? Leave!" But I was saying it underneath my breath and like using like facial expressions and eyes expressions to, put emphasis on it. Like, "What are you doing here? Leave!" Like, it got me in trouble. And I remember he kept saying to me, "I can't go, Shay. I love you." He said, "I love you." Mind you, he knows how old I am. He knows that I am 11 years old, going on to 12. I was soon to be 12. But still, I was still a minor. He said it, and I literally believed him at the time. I believe him because the reason why I believed him, because I'm thinking in myself, like, you're a grown man. Like, you must know that you are risking yourself to come and see an underage child. That is statutory rape in itself. Like, you could be imprisoned. So when he said it to me at that point, I was thinking in my head, like, oh, he must really love me. Like, that old infatuation kind of feeling, not realizing that I was being delusional. You know what I mean? But kept saying it, he kept saying it, and then I maintained my composure. I said, "No, you have to go. You cannot be here. You're gonna get me in problems. Please leave." And that's what I said to him. And where he said where he's gonna go, he started asking me, "Please, let's meet." And I said, "Meet where? I am a child. I cannot meet you. Please go, please go." And I said, "You see how you made my dad beat me?" I said, "You were the cause of why my dad beat me and how I became the laughing stock of the community now. In addition to they're gonna bully me even more." So I remember saying all of that to him. And now I think, I don't remember what happened after that. I think he left, and I didn't see him after that because I refused to see him because of that traumatic situation that happened. And as remember, I told you that after that first physical abuse, like getting beaten, it was like every 2 weeks, as I told you, that I was getting beaten from my dad. Every 2 weeks, there was just something always coming up, something. If it's not in the community, it's at school. It was just like so much, like literally to the point where I felt this resentment, as I said before, like this resentment against my dad. And so now and as I said, now because of that whole thing where this guy was talking about he loved me, the desire for grown men increased, and I started wanting grown men. And after a while, I did not even see that man again, as I said. And I tried to remind myself, even though I had these desires for grown men, I was trying to remind myself that I am a child and I need to remain in a child's place, but I could not stop myself. Like, as soon as like grown men saw me, like for real, I'm not even kidding or exaggerating, it was like the eye contacts, that was it. And this, I know that this is where the desire for grown men started to enact, because then I did not want or wanted to date any guys that was within my age group or in my school or whatever. I always wanted to date older men. And so this is where this started. And as I said, in those years as well, I remember acting very innocent, because again, I had to act very innocent because my dad was very, very like a big bull, literally. It's not like now where the girls, they're very open with their whole sexuality and, who they're dating and things that they're doing. It's not like now. But then you had to be covert with those things. It couldn't be overt, it couldn't be open with them. You had to cover those things up, right? So I had to be innocent. I had to act innocent when I'm around my families, like, you know, I wasn't doing anything, like, you know, I wasn't trying to date men or anything of that sort. So yeah, and as you guys come with me again, you guys will start to see how things starts to play in as well. And yeah, so this was the start of the physical abuse. So stay tuned for more.